Welcome to my live. I am super excited to be talking about dating to marry. I've been doing a lot of research on these internet streets, getting the tea on what the guys, what kind of information men are getting, and then also what kind of information women are getting, what kind of things they're sharing amongst each other. And I'm just like, I gotta spill the tea and share my personal opinion on dating and on marriage and really just how to position yourself as a wife as opposed to, I don't know, the fun girl. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the way. This is my disclaimer. I am not for the hyper independent girlies. Like, yes, I'm a boss babe, but I'm a wife first, I'll be a mother second, then boss babe, okay? So if that's something that you're interested in, becoming a wife, a mom, that kind of thing, and not trying to slay life by yourself, this is the place for you. If that's not your tea, that's not what you're on, this is not for you. So let's get into it. I was watching this video and they were talking about how, so first of all, let me set the stage for the video. So the lady, the actual host of the show, she was interviewing her mom and getting her perspective on, should you raise your children to be spouses? And the lady was Black, so that added just to add to the context of it, the lady was Black. She raised her daughter by herself, and basically she was like, no, you should not raise your kids to be somebody's spouse, and that you should just be raising productive members of society. And I think that is like the furthest thing from the truth. There is so much information out here on how to get a job, how to pay bills. Of course, you can learn more about business and that kind of thing, but nobody is really preparing our youth specifically for marriage, for relationships, for healthy teamwork dynamics and stuff like that. So if you don't learn that at home, where are you going to learn that? So that's just like a crazy ideology, and that is something that I do not agree with. I just think it is important. Like, I wish my mom could have taught me at least a little something, a little something about becoming a wife and what that means, what the roles and responsibilities are, how they shift in the different seasons of your life, how they how how to show up and become a wife, but also like the fluidity of everything. That's not something my mom shared with me. That's not something she could speak to. But to just write it off and act like it's not important is crazy, okay? So to me, it's one of those things, like, you can get money, you can get status, but if you neglect relationship skills, who the heck are you supposed to experience life with? That's what I need to know. Who are you experiencing life with? So there's a lot of talk, like I said, on the internet, telling these guys as well, get a vasectomy in your 20s, which is crazy. Get a vasectomy in your 20s and don't have any stray babies. I mean, I'm with that. Don't have no baby mama, baby daddy drama. I'm pro that. But in the same note, if you aren't if you're not practicing for a relationship, you don't just come into the game and win. That's just not possible. So there's just a lot of information on how to get short-term game. So whether that's being a sugar baby, running up the bag on a boyfriend, on a little boo thing, and then the other side of the internet, the guys getting as much, cootie as possible. It's a mess. I don't like that. It's literally, it's just a mess. And going back to the raising like hyper independent kids, this is really a trauma response Like I said, this lady raised her daughter by herself. So if you're pushing this narrative that, oh, you can't depend on men, you have to, if nobody's got you, you gotta have you. If you're literally just pushing all of these ideals on being independent, then as a woman, you can't learn, like, you have to unlearn that and learn how to become more vulnerable, how to be more open, and how to, like, rest. It's crazy, like, that sounds like you literally have to learn how to rest. And yeah, I just don't agree with that. Hey girl, hey candy coated. So here's the thing. I wanted to get on here to talk about how to position yourself as a more traditional wife in this modern dating scene. Like I said, there's a lot of short-term gains. That path, you could take that. But if you really want something long-term, long-lasting, it's a totally different ball game. So for starters, it starts with your energy. That sounds so cliche, but it starts with you. You have to prioritize you first. It's not all the work that we're going to be talking about here on my channel, on my page, is for you. You are your biggest you are your biggest project. You are your best asset. You have to invest in yourself. It is all for you. So let's start there. Like, the results, the fruit, the goodies, the goodness of getting a partner is awesome, but you have to literally come with the intention it's for you. Good to be here. My first time here. Girl, it's my first time going live in a while. Hey. So how to position yourself. It's your energy. Learning how to tap into your divine feminine energy. That sounds real woo-woo, real weird. It can be at times, but to make it short, simple, and sweet, it really just comes down to self-care and pouring into yourself and doing the inner work. What is inner work? Inner work is the process of looking into yourself and seeing, there's some things about me that I could improve. Where did this even come from? Where did I get these habits from? Where did I get this belief? Why do I think like that? And really just digging deep and uncovering the things that aren't working for you and just being honest with yourself. Like, hey, I don't know nothing about this, but I want to do something different and I'm willing to risk it all. I'm willing to risk it all to become the best version of myself. So, tapping into divine energy, self-care, and inner work. As well as, what does your page, this is getting literally into the technical, the nitty-gritty of what does your page, your clothing, your makeup, your hair, your nails, everything, what does everything that you're presenting to the world say about you? And really take an honest assessment. There was a lot of girls on the internet saying how, if a guy I was talking to wanted me to delete my Instagram, he'd have to be coming for me hard, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And it was just an interesting take on, the person that you are pursuing, that's pursuing you, if they're applying that pressure, you would be more interested in doing what they say. But you really have to, before it even goes that deep, you have to already be in that space of like, what does what I'm putting out here actually say about me? Essentially, it's like fishing. And what I mean by that is you have to bait the hook for the type of fish you want to catch, okay? If you want the big whales, if you want the super successful guys, if you want to be with someone that is, top notch, you have to position yourself as a top notch woman in everything that you do. Not some things, everything that you do. It's literally a lifestyle. So with that being said, what does your page say about you? If you're only posting things, you in the club, you at the bar, you always out somewhere, drinking, wilding, at a concert. I'm trying to think what else. Every photo has your chest out. Every photo has your butt out. That's not even going to attract the quality or caliber guy you are trying to attract. And then on the same note, are you always in the house? Are you only posting photos, only posting on your story that you in the house, the shows you watching, and some wine? Like, that's not interesting. That is not interesting either. So it really goes both ways. So what are you saying if someone was to meet you and they were mute and the only way y'all could communicate is sign language, vibes, body language, and literally at face value, what are they going to get from, what vibe are they going to get when they see you? That's something you really have to look at. So something Ryan even said, Ryan, my husband, said when we first started dating, he was like, he knew I wasn't even the type of girl you could play with. Like, I'm fun, but I'm not the one to play with. And I'm saying that as in, like, I have self-respect on my personal page. That, like, I have a smaller page, and then even on this page, nobody needs to know how big my butt really is. Nobody on the internet really knows that. And it's like that for a reason. Like, most girlies, see, this why you don't got nothing. I'll just play it. No, I'm not. The Lord do not to give me no boobies off rip, because, yeah, I'd be like, but yeah, anyway. When you go on my page, you can't even see that I have, like, that I'm super bottom heavy. You can't even see that, like, I'm not showing off my body on purpose. Like, it's there, I look good, but it's not like, I'm just putting it out there. I just want everybody to know how fine I am. It's not even that. And that's by design. And so that's something Ryan said he noticed. He's like, I knew you were a woman of class just from your pages, because you're not putting yourself out there like that. Because that's not even what type of time I'm on, okay? So this is the thing that I noticed. A lot of women look up to these sex workers, these rappers, for example, Young Miami, and the situation she got with Diddy. People are looking up to these people, and these girls, these young women are for real sex workers. And if you're not willing to do something strange for a piece of change, why are you positioning yourself and doing what they're doing and, like, soliciting the same type of attention, but you're not willing to do what they are doing? And you don't really want that life. Like, a lot of normal girls want to be retired, not have to work when they have a child, want to be provided for, want to just relax and rest in their feminine energy, not have to work, and have a husband that protects and provides for them. But if you are modeling after these women that are doing what sex workers do, you're going to get sex worker results, okay? So that's the thing. It's like, if your page looks like a Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, or one of these IG baddies, OnlyFans girls, if your page, if you copying their poses, if you're copying everything that they're doing, you're going to get that kind of results. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. You sound like you're immature. Okay, that's you. That's your opinion. Anyway, how old are you? I'm 27. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, just that you can't model after what one person is doing and think that you're going to get a different kind of result. Basically, if you are doing what sex workers are doing, you better be ready to get that bag quick and run. Like that's what type of time you got to be on. If that's the approach in life that you are, like, if that's how you want to present yourself to the world, be that for real, do that for real, get the bag and run. But if that's not what type of time you're on, you want to find a man of caliber, a man of substance, and have a relationship of substance, your whole approach has to change. For me, she makes sense. Okay, Candy Coated, you feel me? Like, girl, we ain't paying him no mind. Yeah, so there's that. Let me see. So, yeah, I already told y'all. It really just comes down to, do you want short-term success, meaning the bags, the trips, all of this material stuff really, really quick? Or do you want a lifelong partner? Do you want someone you can spend the rest of your life with that will provide for you the rest of their life and in death as well? Like, is that what you're looking for? Or do you just want the quick licks? Okay? Because if so, your whole approach has to change. Let's see. Okay, so on the other side of things is you have to be wife-minded, but not doing wifely things. That sounds weird. What does that mean? Okay, I'll give you an actual example. I position myself as a woman of high status, a woman that's going after things, but also a woman that has the feminine attributes that my husband and men like him are looking for. But just because I am like that does not mean, oh, I was in tryouts. A lot of women go at dating like they're trying out to be a wife. That is the wrong approach, okay? Men do, women become, okay? Meaning, you don't have to do the wifely stuff in order to be a wife. You have to be a wife in your energy. When I first met Ryan, okay, let me tell y'all. When I first met Ryan, and I came up here to North Carolina, he was taken aback that although I had stayed with him, I was not cooking, I was not cleaning, I was not doing none of that. Why? I'm an honored guest. I am not your wife. I am not your mother. I am an honored guest. So I was not in tryouts. I was here being me, doing me, showing up cute per usual. And that set the tone that I'm not trying out to be your wife. I'm just here to enjoy my time with you, have fun, get to know each other better. But I am not trying out, doing too much. A lot of women just try to do too much, whether that's sexually when they first meet a guy, whether that's in the home. It's like, really, when you got it like that, you don't got to do all of that. Does that make sense? Yeah, so anyway, the thing that Ryan loves most about me, I didn't give all of the wifely goodies up since he met me. It's always a new level with me. Like, it's always something new. So back to when I was just visiting and I wasn't doing no cooking or cleaning, it wasn't until we lived together and I was being fully provided for, I started doing some cooking and cleaning. Like, That wasn't even on the table. Me as an honored guest, just doing that. And now, as a wife, we make enough money to afford a housekeeper and a meal prep service. So I really don't even do all of that if I don't want to. And most of the time I don't. So I'll do some dishes. I'll put the dishes in the dishwasher. That's about it though. Oh, and the laundry. I'll wash the clothes and have them ready for our housekeeper. So this is the other thing. When dating to marry, I feel like a lot of women are looking for womanly things in men. What do I mean by that? A lot of women are wanting men because of his looks, his height, and his style. What part of any of those are any kind of key qualifying factors on if he would be a good husband? None of them. Literally none of those are key indicators. So what you really need to look at is how a man spends his money and if he is creating wealth with the time that he has and the money that he has. How does he spend his money and time? That's the most important thing that you would look for in a man. Because that's going to tell you everything you need to know on what type of time he's on. Hey, Shug. Hey. That'll tell you everything you need to know about what type of time he's on. That'll tell you what things he prioritizes, his values, his lifestyle, his vision, and also, well, really, those are the three things. And if you can see those three things, those four things about him, in dating, then that's like, okay, he'd make a good candidate. But yeah, all of that, like I said, all of that looks, height, and style, excuse me, that's womanly stuff. Like, and that's stuff that in the grand scheme of things does not matter. If you are dating to marry and you want a quality man, child, those things don't have nothing to do with it. Literally nothing. Let me see. Oh yeah, so back to how a man spends his money. That'll show you his level of discipline, if he has savings, and if he's not living paycheck to paycheck. That'll tell you good things about him. And then also, like I said, his priorities, and then if he's a long-term thinker. How a man spends his money, if all he does is go out, all of his money goes towards going out, popping bottles, getting sections, flying girls out, always on somebody's trip, like living this big, flashy, grandiose lifestyle, and he has no investments, that tells you he's a short-term thinker, and 9 times out of 10, he's not the man for you if you're looking for someone that's going to provide for you long-term, because he don't have long-term vision. Any man with brains and that can see the true value in women knows that women are your best investment. One good quality woman can change your life forever. So he has to see that, and he has to already think in investment. And you should be thinking in investment. How do you spend your money? That's another thing. All this whole list that I'm going through, this also applies to you too. Because, for instance, I have family members that every time they get a little bit of money, the only thing they spend their money on is hair, nails, makeup, and trips. That would be fine if they were happy with their living situation, with their life, but they're not. Okay? So so the fact that they're not happy with their situation and they're spending their money on all of this bull tells me you're immature, and no person that really gets money would see you as a good investment, because you're not a good steward with your own money. So that's a red flag on both sides. So ladies, if you are not financially savvy, not responsible, not pouring into yourself, you're a red flag. You a walking red flag. Okay? Do better, be better, but also, and just invest in learning. All of my money, all of my money, especially when I was in college and even after college, all of my money was going into personal development and learning about business and growing a business. All of it. Everything else that was left over, then I will spend that money on hair, nails, makeup, clothes, whatever. But I was investing in myself first. Put yourself first. That's the real tea. Put yourself first, and not just on the surface level of put yourself first, in every level. Physical health, financial health, mental health, spiritual health, emotional health, and relational health. You have to invest in all of these things. What I like to do is I just pick one. I pick one thing to focus on per year and hyper focus on it. Like for instance, when I was, and so 10 years ago in 2013, I was hyper focused on weight loss. I lost a lot of weight and have maintained this weight loss for over 10 years now. But that just comes from hyper focusing on one section of my life. I hyper focused on weight loss. Then I lost all the weight and realized I was a mess, mentally a mess, and the weight didn't have anything to do with it. So I'm like, okay, I need a spiritual component. I hyper focused on God and my spiritual being. That was the next level. Then from that, I focused on relational. How can I position myself as a woman of substance, a high caliber woman? How can I do that? I hyper focused on that. Then after that, I hyper focused on business. Like, it's just levels. I just pick one topic, one little aspect of my life, and then just tunnel in, focus on that, and then I go to the next one. And then it builds on top of each other. So as you can see, I'm a masterpiece, but that's from brick by brick. And by brick, I mean each year I'm laying a brick. Not trying to do half bricks, quarter bricks. Hey. Not trying to do little bricks in each component. I literally just took it one brick at a time in each category of my life, 1 year, and went all in. And so then it stacks up and it's like, wow, you are such an amazing, well-rounded person. It's like, I know, I worked hard for this. That's true. Let me see. Oh, girl. I was looking at these podcasts and they have all of these women on here talking about how they met some good guys, whatever good guy means. They met some good guys, but they're boring or they're corny. That's also what's keeping a lot of girls single. Being successful, being peaceful and positive, it is pretty boring. We have a routine. We live and die by the routine. And yes, it's boring, but as a result, our life is extraordinary. So the day-to-day can be boring, but in truth, I like to be the one to bring the fun. So basically what I mean by that is, if life is so boring to you, whatever, the routine is so boring, I'm gonna figure out how to spice up my daily quality of life. Like, let me see, what's a good example of how I spice up life? Doing meal prep, okay? That's great. But because we live a healthy lifestyle, so a lot of the times we'll eat the same thing over and over again. Every now and again, I'll try out a new recipe that I find online, rather than figuring out, oh, what kind of food I want to go eat out. Like, of course we do eat out, but rather than focusing on how boring the meal prep is or whatever, I'm gonna find a cool little recipe online and bring that in and spruce up. That's healthy, that's aligned with our goals, but also adding some spice, some flavor to it. So that's just an example. But the true thing is, what's boring is being broke. What's boring to me is going to the club every weekend. What's boring to me is only seeing the same people and staying in the same situation for years on end. That's boring. That's real boring to me. What y'all think? Is a couple people on here. Is that boring to y'all? Or is that y'all's type of fun? Let me know. But yeah, successful people are boring. And I'm using that in quotations. If I'm going to be partying, I would rather be partying on a yacht. Not at the bar with the same people every week. I want to be on a yacht in Italy with the bluest waters, vibing, okay? That's what I like. And I'm willing to invest the time and energy in my regular day-to-day life to where we can afford that. Like, I don't know, some people can't have it both ways, but there's always going to be something missing. So, sure, you might be able to travel internationally. Some people have it like that, to where they can party during the week, on the weekends, whatever. I'm trying to think It's possible, but the chances of that being your reality are very slim. I only know one successful person that's like that. That's like a total party girl, living a party world. But she really gets money, and that's her prerogative. But the rest of us, it's pretty boring until we travel. And I'm okay with that. I don't have no problem with working on the weekends. I don't have a problem with my husband working on the weekends, working late at night. That might bother a lot of people, but whatever it takes for him to provide this level of security for our family of two. I always be like, oh, our family, for our family of two. And whatever that takes, as long as it's legal and ethical, I don't mind it at all. Let me see. Another thing. Stop trying to be equal to men. If you want someone in your life that's going to protect and provide for you, he has to see himself as a higher, as a higher being. He has to. So rather than pushing for trying to be equal, just accept the fact that whoever is doing the protecting and providing has to have that macho-ness, that bigness, that grandiosity, that I am responsible for you. Someone that's smaller or lesser, if you will, doesn't have that same level of duty. So pushing for equality and all of this kind of stuff is not helpful. We work and be at home, do small outdoor activities, but we stayed and we have a baby on the way, 7 weeks. Oh, congrats, girl. That is so awesome. Yeah, tucked away at home and staying out the way. I love that. Okay. What was I going to say? To touch on that, as a woman, it's also just important to make sure your home is peaceful. Your home, you have pride in your home. Where you can live in the hood, okay? It literally does not matter where you live. If you take pride in where you live and creating a safe, oasis, a safe haven for you, your children, and your spouse, that's a win. That inspires the person that's actually going out every day and working hard to be like, I love just, it's such a relief to come home and not have to have the drama, and just really everything is just fresh and refreshing. To be a breath of fresh air is a duty in and of itself. So yeah, just stop pushing this equality. If you're looking to date, to marry, don't come with that I want to be seen as an equal energy. It's not helpful. If you want to be a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom, if you want to have the option to work, you can't come with that energy that, oh, I'm bringing my part to the table, da 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 da. No, I'm bringing refreshments. I'm refreshing. I'm literally a breath of fresh air. And that's my role. That's my responsibility, is to be refreshing and just a breath of fresh air. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing that I've noticed in this dating culture right now. Women are like, oh, equality, equality. And men are also like, oh, I can ask her to pay for the check, to split the bill. Women want to be equal so bad. Not me, baby. Literally not me. I love my man, being a man, doing what men do, protecting and providing. I love that. I have zero desire to do a portion of that. And it's all respect. It's all admiration. It's all heart eyes. When it comes to that, because I don't want to be an equal child. Y'all can have that. I like being at home. I like being responsible for setting the vibe. That's what I like. All that other stuff, I am so good. But yeah, I've been on for about 30 minutes now. Y'all have any questions? Anything specifically y'all want to talk about? We covered a lot. A lot of goodies. Something I was seeing here on the internet as well. Women asking, how do you tap into your receiving and deserving energy? That question was good. I know that's right. Zero desire to be an equal. Girl, the girlies that want that can have that. As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord and my husband. I'm being so serious, like, child, no. It's just a big no. Let me tell y'all why being equals is actually women coming out on the bottom still. Women, wait, no, let me tell you. A man really being a man, he only has to do a couple things. Wake up, eat, what else? Go to work, protect, provide for the household, come home, bring the money back, and that's it. And have sex. But generally, if he's doing all of that, the woman going to be jumping on him anyway. So that's literally like a handful of things. Women, girl, not only do we have to get ourselves spiritually together, emotionally together, you got to get the house together, you got to get the kids together, then to be at somebody else's job, working, doing all of that, tending to somebody else's empire. Then you got to come home, cook, straighten up some more, think about all the stuff for the future as far as, oh, what activities are the kids going to be? When are these doctor's appointments being scheduled? All of this other stuff, right? Then you finally put the kids to bed. I don't know nothing about the kid part, but from what I hear, then you put the kids to bed. Then you got to put it down in the bedroom too. Be for real. That's too much. And in order for you to really show up fully, oh, that's not including the working out part. That's not including the researching healthy meals part. Because men are not going to look into okay, Ryan just started getting like health conscious, and that's because he started watching some Instagram videos about like oils and stuff. But in general, men are not going to do the research on healthy meals. They're not going to do the research. They're not going to be scheduling the appointments. They're not doing that. So by you financially splitting the bills, but taking on the whole burden, it's not a burden, but you get what I'm saying, the whole responsibility of everything else as well, you're literally coming out on bottom. You're aging yourself. You don't have the opportunity to rest and relax and receive. I don't like that. That's a no for me. Yeah, that's just a big no. So anyway, how do you tap into that receiving and deserving energy? I really believe that comes from doing the work, the inner work, whether that's speaking to a therapist, doing some personal development, learning about why you don't feel like you can deserve that, whatever that is to you. Figure out why you feel like you can't deserve it, and then rest in your desires, meaning make a whole list of all the stuff that you want in life, like whether that's, I want a loving spouse, I want a beautiful home, I want a safe neighborhood, I want to be at home, not running the streets. I want to, let me see, what's some other desires? I want to have a beautiful life. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to relax. List all the things that you want. And then just breathe in and just know you can have all of those things if you are willing to chip away, meaning remove the things that don't align with that life that you say you want. And just rest in that. And that's it. It's not something you actually it's not a lot of deep doing. It's really a matter of reflecting and reprogramming your mind into really believing it. Like everything that I have right now, I really believed that this life was for me, and everything that I'll have in the future, I really believe is for me. Like I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to become the person that I want to become to have the life that I want to have. And that's it. Disassociating with any thought processes, any ideologies that don't align with who you want to become, and just resting in that. Like that's it. It's not, I'm going to start talking a lot more about energy work and shifting your beliefs and all that kind of stuff moving forward. But essentially, more women need to really rest and dream. And from the dream, figure out who is that person, who is that girl, and remove the things that don't align with being that girl. That's it. So, yeah, that's my take on receiving and tapping into your receiving energy. Drop some questions if you have them. Hey, Mackenzie, I see you still with me, girl. Yeah, that's really it. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna go be with Suge, the grill daddy. Ryan got a grill, girl, and been cutting up. Now we grilling every night. So, I'll go get some food that my loving husband prepared for us. If y'all don't have nothing else to talk about. That is something I forgot to mention. A lot of people actually believe they deserve this glamorous, glamorous, spoiled, soft life, whatever. And they want someone that's going to provide this, and they really believe, oh, I just deserve better. I deserve better. In actuality, you have to become better to attract better. You have to be the standard for what you say you want. And not from a place of, oh, I can do everything by myself for myself. It's really from a place of, I'm the matching energy to what I want. So basically, okay, for instance, if you want a man that's going to provide for you forever, for life, you have to really be in your receiving, be in your resting, be in your feminine energy to attract that. And yes, all of us women deserve the world if we believe it, but also if we're willing to remove the things that do not align with where we want to go. Because there's a lot of things that may serve us at one point, but are not going to take us to the next point. So I'll give you an example. When I was a kid and I was a young girl, I was super hyper independent, go get it by any means. I'ma just go get it. I'm not waiting on nobody. I'ma just figure it out and I'ma do it. That got me to a certain point, but that was not, that mindset, that mentality was not what was going to take me to ultimately having a husband that is a protector and provider. And that's an honest reflection. You have to be honest with yourself and just see okay, this served me up until this point, but it's not going to take me where I want to go. And you just have to be willing to let it go. Let it go and get some new information from people that are actually doing what you want to do and are actually living by, not just telling you something, not just, you really got to look at people with a magnifying glass, but look and see, okay, in every aspect of their life, are they doing what they say they're putting out? Are they doing what they're talking about? And when you look at that and you say, sometimes comparison is good. This person does X, Y, Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. I'm just going to work every day. Okay. Me going to work every day is great. I'm able to provide this life for myself. But what's next? What can I add on to or remove from me? What habits can I add or replace to make me more aligned with what I really want? And those are the questions you have to just be willing to ask yourself. But this concludes my live. Thank you all for hopping on. And if you're catching this on replay, let me know a part of the live that stuck out to you, any key takeaways you have, and anything else you want to talk about as it pertains to dating, to marry, being a high caliber woman, anything like that. The dream girls, the girlies that want to have it all, this is for you. Anybody that doesn't want that, it's not for you. Bye.